NXT 2.0 proves to be, well, a good little bump in the ratings. Plus, news behind the curtain of AEW with some recent stars that have gone there. Plus, even more news about Big E's big WWE Championship win. Who in the wrestling world reacted to it? Who in the wrestling world reached out to him personally? A whole lot more to get into. Your comments on screen. Share the link if you stink. It's today's Sportskeeda Wrestling top story of the day. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey everybody. Oh my God, I'm Kevin. I'm in
He's on three
somewhere.
TVs.
Hey, what's up? Three of us today on a Thursday. I'm Kev Kelm, Jose G down in Florida. Nebraska, if you ask you, Mr. Jeremy Bennett. A lot to get into today, gentlemen.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, bro. We still got to get through Dynamite, bro.
So we still got to get, bro. I'm ahead of myself, bro. You're Vince me, bro.
I wish it was Thursday. Then I could say tomorrow's Friday.
I know, bro. Especially this weekend. I'm looking forward to this festival here in Florida. Tacos and tequila. All you can drink tacos. All you can eat tequila.
Ooh,
or
all you can eat tequila? Wait a minute. All you can drink tacos.
All you can drink tacos.
So
all you can eat tacos, and all you can drink tequila.
So they put the tacos in the blender, and then that tequila is so thick you actually have to chew it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a long week for me because this has been my first full week of work since like the third week of August, because I had my birthday and then you got Labor Day and everything. So it's been a long week already.
If you haven't done it already, go ahead and subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling here on YouTube. Vince Russo with us every single Monday night covering Monday at Raw. Bro. He actually had some nice things to say about our Monday at Raw this week. You can check out. He didn't roast the rest of it, but he had some nice things to say about it.
It's pretty good overall.
Yeah, Dutch Mantel joining us on Friday nights after Rampage and Smackdown. And of course, we have tonight the debrief following AEW. We'll also cover last night's NXT. We'll get into some NXT tonight in this video right now. But if you haven't already, go ahead and share the link. We have a lot to get into. We want your comments on screen. We're going to get them here on screen. Stay on topic and you get on screen. There you go. Gentlemen, some good news for WWE NXT. People really stressed out about this big brand change. 2.0. Oh, it's a bunch of colors. It looks like Nickelodeon. Oh, I've heard that Vince is going to take it over and ruin it. And I heard that yesterday we heard that Kevin Dunn, the guy we don't like that directs WB television, apparently we're the internet and we're mad at a $1 billion corporation. But well, I did 250,000 more of us watch the TV show this week. That question has to be asked as well. WWE promoted this show for weeks and weeks and weeks. This is going to be the big relaunch of NXT, a different look, a different feel, and it definitely felt different than just another NXT. We have a new NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa, winning a fatal 4-way, a match where Kyle O'Reilly was taken out of it, a completely televised debut for Kale Bloom, now known as Von Wagner, in this fatal 4-way match. We had a completely sports entertainment driven angle to end the show with a wedding that didn't get ruined. The guy who was officiating the wedding got choked out, but then Beth Phoenix came in and replaced it, and someone still got married. You can check out the post-show promo we had of Johnny Gargano, who was involved in that. This is a wild show, a lot of squash matches, maybe a little bit too many new faces. Jeremy, you and I were texting about that. But I enjoyed this. I didn't love it, but I was like, this is definitely different. I love the new set. Jose, you were physically there. Let's get into all of it. What did you guys think of NXT 2.0? Their highest ratings since April. Their highest ratings they've had in months.
Yeah, man. Just from being there and experiencing the new version, the repackaged version of NXT, it was pretty cool. Well, I was talking to my wife when we were in there because we've been, before this revamp, when it was like the dark and grimy type of feel that you would get with the black and gold brand. Now we have this new revamp version, and it just feels like it's a really small version of Monday Night Raw or a small version of SmackDown, right? The cool thing about the setup is because the seating surrounds the ring like a circle, it's almost like a bowl because they have like in a bleacher type of situation. So it almost feels like you can fit a lot more people, but you don't. It actually there's less people in there than before.
It's more lit up, it's more illuminated, there's more color.
it's spaced out in a way where it kind of deceives the camera and the eye where, wow, it looks like you could fit a lot more people in there. But I'll tell you what, the NXT crowd was good. People were behind it. We had Joey Ding Ding, which is the guy that has been reported on as the guy hyping up the crowd. I was literally 6 feet away from that guy, and he's the guy that pretty much tells you to boo or cheer or anything like that. He was pretty active throughout the show. Overall, man, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, we got to see tons of new faces. That
a lot of new people.
A lot of new people. You know, we got to see B-Fab make her debut. You know, we saw the Creed brothers absolutely kill it.
They're awesome.
I think that's their second week now on NXT, so they put on a hell of a performance, bro. Braun Breaker, Rick Steiner's son.
Call him Rick Steiner. Call him Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner was such a great name.
Rex Steiner absolutely
Braun Breaker Steiner. That would be cool.
Out of the entire night, that was the one match that made my jaw drop, because here I am thinking, damn, LA Knight's going to be in the main event tonight in a fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
Bro, more than likely, in my head, it's either going to be LA Knight or Tommaso Ciampa that's going to be the new NXT champion. So I'm watching this match. They're both going at it. Braun, or Rex, is absolutely killing it with the amateur wrestling moves, mixing it in with the pro wrestling moves. Hits his finisher, and my jaw absolutely dropped, and I wasn't the only one.
What was that? It was
that finisher,
a full body press into like a
power slam. Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Well, actually, Goldberg's done that before, but not a lot of people can execute it well. Rex did it well last night, and just to show you how many people were stunned, just like me, my whole area was LA Knight guys, and they were all their jaws were dropped. It was pretty crazy. That was like the one surprise of the night. Everything else was pretty cool. The wedding was hilarious. Everybody absolutely loved the wedding, especially when Dexter Lumis spoke. I know on the broadcast, they really tightened up on Dexter Lumis's face when he said, "I do," but Beth Phoenix's reaction was absolutely the best. And we got that exclusively here on Sportskeeda. You guys can check that out. But yeah, man, overall, man, the experience was good. I liked it. Am I going to go again? Yes, absolutely. I think this is good. I think change can be good, and I think this is a good change for NXT.
If I
Jeremy, what'd you think? I heard some people. My buddy Robert DeFelice, who's a compatriot over at Fightful, called it looked like a Saturday morning kids show. Too much color. There were some people that lined up to hate on this thing before the bell even rang. Right?
I did.
I've seen so much negatives on this.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I saw a lot of negatives on the white, and I didn't actually mind that because it makes the crowd look bigger. You didn't realize that it's not a bigger crowd. I didn't mind that. I wish they would turn off the LED during matches, though. They had that big bright NXT logo on the entranceway. I wish they would have turned that off during matches. I think that was a little bit distracting, but just a minor nitpick of that. The show overall, I thought was pretty good. Way too many debuts. But like
there was a lot for 2 hours,
especially when you throw a guy like Von Wagner in the main event. I think you're really trying to force too many debuts. I think they should have just stuck with the script on Kyle O'Reilly.
To be clear, he's done some job work. To be clear, he's done some job work. He's done some job work on SmackDown.
But to put him in that's not a good. That's not
a formal debut.
That was forcing a debut, and I didn't like that.
But he held his own. He didn't look bad in the match. It's a fatal 4-way match with 3 other guys who are really established. And he held his own, and they made the right decision. They went with a veteran to win the title.
Yeah,
and a true NXT guy. It got a great reaction. It shows that they want to do something serious with the title. Now, whether or not that was supposed to happen and Samoa Joe's injury was legitimate, or it's just a kayfabe thing.
I think it's kayfabe now. I think it's kayfabe now. The more I think about it, the more the way things have been shaken out. I think the Joe thing's kayfabe. And I know Jose and I mentioned it either Monday or last week how this wasn't supposed to happen for Joe, but it was such a good story they had to run with it. But then they booked themselves in a corner because they had to take the title off a cross and put it on Joe. So they kind of booked themselves into a corner that way.
They've been really bee stung with the whole title in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Even since the Wednesday Night Wars, injuries and different stuff like that happened with the champion all the time. Happened with Keith. Happened with Keith Lee, or happened with Cross when he won it off Keith, and and a bunch of different things.
I'll tell you what, though. Obviously, to quote Cameron Grimes, they are going to push Braun Breaker to the moon. They're putting a rocket up his butt. That's for damn sure. I like the stare down with Ciampa at the end. I even said it on Twitter. LA Knight's my guy, but I think they should have put it on Tommaso. I said that at the beginning of the show and right before the main event. So I'm very happy they did because he had never lost that title. The tag team they debuted against Imperium, I thought was pretty with Briggs and Jensen. I think it's pretty good. Kind of reminds me of a kind of a beer money type of tag team with James Storm, kind of a cowboy like tag team there. I didn't mind that. I thought Trick with Carmelo Hayes, that dude's got some moves as we saw in the ring and good on the mic. So I think Trick with Carmelo Hayes is going to be a pretty cool pairing.
Oh man, I got to tell you, Carmelo is over in NXT. People absolutely love him. Even if he's a heel, which it looks like he might be going that direction.
I got the sense he was a heel. Sure. Watching it on television, I got that.
Yeah,
sense.
right.
Yeah, it sounded like they were going that way. Yeah.
Even with that, the guy is super over in NXT.
I just thought there was too many forced debuts I think it was really trying hard to switch the gear when they could have done things like that vignette with Tony D'Angelo was great. Walking down the streets of Chicago. He's kind of like a mob guy. I thought that vignette to introduce him was perfect, but they kind of forced some guys into other positions too. But overall, I thought it was a real good, a good show.
They're definitely trying to present characters and focus on characters and vignettes. And there's just a more dialed in sense of it. And then something as simple as let's light this room up and make it look brighter and make it fill it with more life looks really good on television. When they're doing those wide shots, I was like, I love this.
It's it kind of reminded me if you watched Chicago Black Label Pro, that little arena they ran in, that's kind of got a brightness to it a little bit with the white walls and things. Kind of reminded me of like a one of those type of deals. And it looked good on camera. I know a lot of people bitched about it, but I thought it looked good because it made the crowd look bigger.
Yeah. And those are one of the things that I was, talking about a little bit earlier, that because of the way that they set it up, it looks really good on camera. It looks way bigger on camera than what it does in actual when you're actually physically there. Yeah. So from a production standpoint, I have to agree with you, Kevin. I think it looks really good from a production standpoint.
I'm not saying I love it, but it's definitely a little bit more.
It's visually pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
And when something is visually pleasing to the eye, no matter if it's pro wrestling, combat sports, MMA, people are going to stick to it because it's visually pleasing to the eye. And I think NXT nailed it when it comes to that.
And also they emphasize so many new people. So if anyone says they don't really care about NXT, they want to ruin it. How would they invest all of this time and energy in a new set and all these new production angles? They wouldn't do that if they didn't care. They just wouldn't do that if they didn't. So to say that or to say they want to ruin it is just blindly negative. Glenn Zegg says, so let's talk ratings. I commented earlier, there was a post viewership saying AEW was for AEW's higher, wondering what's that about. I literally read the opposite online when I did research. A lie, then what? There is no lie here. There's some confusion that people had last week about ratings coming in. And people always want to compete because they have this internet tribalism thing, right? Where they have to be able to say one is better than the other. And here's my irrefutable proof that I can go and yell and throw at somebody on the internet that I've had an argument with in a thread. I will tell you that is a waste of your energy and a waste of your time. Wrestling is a very healthy thing right now on television. NXT had their highest ratings since April. They performed very, very well. They went up 7 points week to week in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is the most desired demographic for their audience. They did around 770,000 viewers. This is overnight viewership. Does not include streaming, does not include YouTube, does not include any social media traffic at all, or anyone watching the show on demand. So I would say that show is going to clear about 1.4, 1.6 million people before the end of the week in terms of on-demand viewership. That's a guesstimate. That's not me saying that's what it is. That's something you have to consider with any TV show. There's probably 2 to 3 million people watching AEW every week after Wednesday before they even get to Thursday. So consider that, guys. That has to be thrown at you there. And also, Raw was an interesting number. Did it get beat by Pro Football, Monday Night Football, its debut? Yeah, it did. But that was expected.
Yeah.
And the interesting note, and I think this is the clearest sign that WWE did something smart on Monday Night Raw, teased Big E's going to show up Money in the Bank cash in first 15 minutes, says he's going to do it, said he's going to do it on social media. They're going to tease it. They're going to go backstage and have him talk to the New Day and all these different people and cut a promo, right? And then he's going to come out at the end of the night and win the title. And it worked because for the first time in a long time, you can see that WWE's ratings went up at the end of the show, not down as they tend to do from the beginning to the end. That's a reversal. That shows a very good different trajectory for WWE if they want to hold this number they have now, and they're doing some interesting things, and you have a fresh new champion. SmackDown was interesting. SmackDown had massive numbers. SmackDown had their biggest rating since January and crushed Friday night. Did really, really well. I was one of those people that did not like WWE moving SmackDown to Friday nights for TV. I didn't think it was a great move, but I don't care. I was dead wrong about that because WWE and Fox, this is a good pairing for them, and they're doing very, very well. They are, put it in perspective, Friday night used to be the CW night. It used to be the night that CW would do really well with scripted shows. They're getting whooped. And part of that is SmackDown. The people that don't want that on Friday night is probably fans of CW television. You know, there's probably a lot more angrier fans of whatever superhero show is on CW on a Friday night.
It'll be interesting to see what AEW does though, because that Raw demo did drop by quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see if AEW can keep pace. Because
they're going to do great. They're going to do awesome.
And obviously next week's going to be
now,
huge.
But you can see it now, Jeremy. You and I were talking about this. After all, when were we going to see the response from WWE? I don't think we saw it that Monday right after All Out. I think we've seen it since. I think we've seen it in. They did their biggest gate they ever did in Madison Square Garden. Think about that. With WWE, the most money they've ever made at Madison Square Garden ever in a single night.
I thought it was interesting, though, that WWE threw all their cards on the table for Monday, and it still didn't really stop the bleeding of Monday Night Football. So that just goes to show you can't do anything.
By football.
Yeah, you just can't do it. It just goes to show you can't really do anything because they moved that title match, and then later on, Big E announced that he was going to cash, and so even that couldn't really save it from getting trounced by Monday Night Football. Plus, it was a good game. So
yeah, it was a game that went into overtime and stuff like that too. My thing is, if you can keep that number around what it is. Everyone's like, oh, the show used to be like 20. It used to be like 8 million people in 2000. Yeah, because there was 70 cable channels. Like you know what I mean. Now you have so many more.
Now there's 332.
and there was 400 different subscription services.
And your alternative was like DirecTV and Dish. You know, even I don't even know if Dish was around back then. I know DirecTV was, but
it's a completely different game. You know, and then people talk about if AEW gets over 1 million, it's incredible. It's like, well, no, you can't change the logic for one and then not use it for the other. You know,
the tribalism is real, dude.
Tribalism is real.
The AEW guys, and I see it all the time in the comments. I'm sure you guys see it all the time in the comments. Anytime there's a small little victory, it's like they won this huge battle, and they're the hot company right now, so they are going to get those views.
Yeah. People talking about, was there a bigger number for AEW than WWE last week? Yeah, there were some demo numbers, but also, what does that mean if they're not on the same night? So, like, if they're not head to head, that's a skewed number, So I don't like when I get it where you can talk about those numbers, certainly pulling people away. And I know many people that love to just crap on WWE. They love AEW. I have some very, very good friends, and that's a thing they really enjoy. So I guess if you say WWE sucks, AEW gets better is like a silly thing, but I don't see where that works. But that's our weekly check-in on people talking shit on the internet. So there we go.
I love this comment here by Christopher Ryan Cooper, CRC, saying, "Let's get upset now that WWE can't beat the NFL. Come on, man. It's freaking football." Love it.
I don't know who could beat football, so that's okay. What's our next story here, gentlemen? What do you want to jump into, Jose?
Well, Renee Paquette's in the news today. She had an interview today with our good friend Nick Hausman over there at Wrestling Inc. And she had a lot of things to reveal today, things pertaining to her non-compete clause, and maybe possibly taking a jump over, to good old AE Dubs. Jeremy, what's the story here?
In the interview, she had mentioned that she thinks she's free and clear. She has confirmed she's going to be at Bloodsport, which is Josh Barnett's show there.
Yeah.
And I believe, and Moxley is usually a regular on those shows as well. And she said, everyone better buckle up and hold on to their asses. I'll fight anyone. Well, except for maybe Misha. I won't think I'll fight Misha Tate. So
I won't fight Misha Tate.
But she has confirmed that she will be at Bloodsport. I do not have a date for Bloodsport here, but it's got to be upcoming here very soon. Of course, everybody is wondering if she will be joining her husband in AEW, Jon Moxley, and she says she's open to the idea. She misses pro wrestling, misses being involved in pro wrestling in that capacity, but she does not know what that job will be or what her role could be within AEW. We could probably rattle off a few different ideas of things to do, and AEW is growing. So as their broadcasts are growing, they're adding on new shows. I think there's definitely a role. So I think that's probably telling the fans that she plans on AEW. Eventually, just does not know when. I think that was almost a given at any point in time as well. You got a new baby, so being able to travel with her husband is probably going to be a big sticking point to things like that. So I think it's a matter of time before she shows up in AEW, though. She said that
what do you do with her? Do you just put her backstage? Like where?
Well, yeah, like she had mentioned in the interview, she doesn't know. There's so many things that they could be adding down the line that she could jump into as well. So, but she said that that it's probably gonna happen. So it's just a matter of where. But she does not think. She doesn't say necessarily that she wants to jump into commentary, though. A lot of people thought with that JR news coming out that, Renee's going to come in and replace JR. Of course, JR's kind of refuted that himself, so we don't know what exactly.
That his deal is up soon with AEW?
Yeah. And so, and so she doesn't, so she almost sounds like she doesn't want to really do commentary, so to speak, but would rather do features, interviews, and things like that. And of course,
she was vocal about not enjoying commentary. Like not being doing it was a big deal to her, but not being the biggest fan of someone being in your ear and it being live and the pressure of it being live. There's some people who want to broadcast stuff. And I say this as somebody who broadcasts wrestling. I have more experience broadcasting wrestling and broadcasting around it. I've only done commentary once or twice. It's very stressful. There's a lot you have to do. And I'm just talking to the minimal independent level.
I love commentary. That's my world right there.
And you've done a little bit of now. I did all the backstage stuff.
I do a lot of it.
Stand-up shots and cutting promos and producing things and contributing punch-up lines for promos and stuff like that. And you're just off camera and your feet. Hey, here, let's do another take and let's try it this way. That type of stuff. And that's a little bit different. I think it's more up her alley and I think she would be very good about bringing over a real casual. There's a lot of casual wrestling fans that love Renee. There's a lot of women that really love Renee. And I think that would be the key use of her is to get a casual female wrestling fan to check out the show.
I agree with that. I think, Renee is very good on screen. I think she has a great personality. And I think people feel comfortable around her. So I think having her as a feature interviewer where she does those one-on-one interviews, kind of like what JR does now with the top names in AEW, I can see her doing that, doing those features, those documentaries, those specials featuring Renee Paquette. I think she'll be great at that. Commentary, I don't think so. I think they have a legit good commentary team. But it is tough. I like commentary. I think I love my job. Besides doing here at Stuff at Sportskeeda Wrestling, I do commentary outside in Spanish, and I absolutely love it. So it's not for everybody. There's lots of stuff to do at the same time while you're doing a commentary. So, but I would love to see her feature in interviews.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of Alex Marvez being a backstage backstage interviewer. Really, she could easily replace him because you also got Dasha Fuentes, but she's always busy. She's on the Spanish broadcast.
Yeah, she's on the Spanish commentary.
So I could definitely see her coming in right away and replacing Marvez as a backstage interviewer for sure.
And he'll still work in production. He still does a whole lot for them. So
yeah,
don't worry. No one's losing a job, hopefully.
Nope.
Let's see what fans are thinking of this. If they're on board with all these different things here.
This would be interesting right here.
What's that?
I think I hit it. There we go.
Okay. She can always manage her husband.
That would be interesting to see her as a manager. She could do it. I mean, she's got some sass.
They've had her do a couple of things in the ring.
Yeah.
I remember she slapped the Miz once.
Yeah. He deserved it though.
I would say most of the time he deserved it. Yeah.
This is interesting too.
He's going to be on Dancing with the Stars starting next week.
It'd be interesting if she shows up with Mox at GCW when he faces Gage in October. That you never know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how she's utilized. I think she's going to end up doing something in All Elite Wrestling. That makes sense.
And
if she wasn't going to go if she wasn't going to go to ESPN or do stuff in Canada, she's now based in the States. I don't know.
I could totally see AEW eventually expanding to some sort of half-hour weekly magazine show too, where she could host that. Just some sort of weekly kind of recap. It's just a special side show that they could do on a weekly basis, like throw it on a Saturday or on a Tuesday night or something like that.
Get something on HBO Max.
We've been saying it now for like 6 months.
Something on HBO, Warner Media.
Hell,
this week they're going to cut off HBO from Amazon, so they're full blast with HBO Max as their streaming platform.
Put the pay-per-views on there too, please.
Oh yes,
dude, even the old ones, even if you're not streaming it live, just put all out.
Absolutely, yes.
Go Peacock on it. I'll pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, if they had if they had a live channel on it.
I had Max, but I lost it when I got rid of cable. So
okay. Yeah, because you have it like in a package deal or something like that.
Yeah,
I have it by itself. It's worth it. There's more than enough on it. And if you don't want it, you drop it. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of people I know that would say they were doing that with the network back in the day. I've Peacock through my internet. It's awesome. I got everything I want.
I love Peacock. I think Peacock's great. They have tons of good stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it back when I was on the network from the WWE side. That's the only nitpick I have because there's a lot of stuff that the features on the network were so much better than they were on Peacock. But Peacock's good. They got good shows on there. They got good movies. It's good stuff.
Tell me about this Alex Cole story, Jeremy. What is going on here?
I'm actually going to Big E. We're doing Big E instead of.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead of myself here.
Yeah, Adam Cole. We had a little bit of news, but not really much meat to that bone on Adam Cole. Basically, he decided right before All Out that he was going to resign, and then the whole thing about he had no idea about the management pitch, but that was more of a planned idea, but that they never officially went to Cole to pitch that. So those are kind of the things on Adam Cole. Not much to talk about there.
Story killer.
Big E, of course. Big E making his rounds after becoming WWE champion after a 12-year journey. Interviewed with Bleacher Report, and a couple of former wrestlers reached out to Big E after the big title win. One, none other than the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Rick texted him after his Money in the Bank win.
There.
Yeah. Rick texted Big E after his big Money in the Bank win, and then also sent him another text after the capture of the title there. And Big E said, "I'll always geek for a Ric Flair text. I got a Ric Flair text a few months ago for Money in the Bank. He texted me again last night. It's Ric Flair. Getting a Ric Flair text is pretty ridiculous, but there are people who used to work here that did reach out and say really positive things. AJ Lee, who I still talk to fairly regularly. Of course, Big E came in with AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler there when he made his debut on the main roster. Says he considers her a friend. She reached out and said some really beautiful things. Everybody has been so incredibly nice, and
he so deserves that, man. That interview today on the bump was great.
Yeah, and on the bump he mentioned, I think we're getting this too because I think MVP teased it on Twitter as well. He wants to see the Hurt Business battle the New Day, and I think MVP might have responded to it or something. I think expect the Hurt Business to be coming back very soon.
Yeah, there was a tweet earlier, or actually not a tweet, but a post on Instagram. MVP posted a selfie with Shelton Benjamin on the plane with the caption saying, talking business with an old acquaintance.
Did you see did you see Cedric Alexander's tweet on Monday night after
no, if you would have had backup?
Yeah, this little gif there of that.
Just saying. Love it.
Love it.
Hurt Business was one of the better one of the better things, period, to come out of the pandemic era for WWE. It was one of the consistent great things on Monday Night Raw. In a period where Monday Night Raw has been kind of weak, the Hurt Business was consistently great. Should not have ended.
A great episode of Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't say it was the greatest, but
it was a good Raw.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was.
There's
great.
a lot of good energy.
Yeah.
I like the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte stuff for a change. Normally, that kind of stuff has been up and down in terms of creativity or creativity and ridiculousness. But I thought that was a well done with her.
Alexa didn't get booed.
No.
She was in front of
She's
they
over.
kept her away from those live crowds to let that Bray Wyatt stuff cool off.
Yeah.
And now she's in front of them, and now she's getting real reactions.
Yeah.
And the way she delivered that line, where it's kind of like a sarcastic, like, I wouldn't really want to be friends with you because you are manipulative, sadistic. It was like very childish.
It was great.
There's some things that she does that are good.
Yeah.
I do agree that she got the Bray Wyatt, gimmick and is running from there with it. That feels odd, but I'm not saying everything in WWE is great, but I'm saying they're definitely doing some new things.
Yeah,
and it's interesting they're doing this right before the draft.
The first half was really good. It kind of came to a screeching halt after that until the main event, but overall it's a good show.
Yeah, there's some botcheroonies for sure on the show too, but what are you going to do? Things happen.
It's live TV. It happens.
It just seems like that for the love of God, they cannot come up with any exciting angles on the tag division. And, plus you have Shotzi and Nox that defeated the champions 3 times. And where are they?
Are you talking about the women's tag division?
Yeah, you see everybody asking where the hell they are because they beat the champions 3 times and they haven't been seen for a month.
Natalia had that injury.
Asuka's hurt. Yeah. Asuka had posted a photo like she's got something with her arm, like it's in a air cast or something. So I think Asuka's hurt.
Yeah. Maybe a choiced surgery there.
Yeah.
That'll do it for Sportskeeda Wrestling today. We have a lot more stories that we keep covering all the time at sportskeeda.com. If you haven't done already, go ahead and download the Sportskeeda app. We also have the SK Wrestling app if you just want to get wrestling specific. It's available on Google Play and Apple. Get everything sports in just a couple clicks right there. Don't have to go scrolling around for it. And if you haven't done already, go ahead and subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling on YouTube. All right. Give us a follow on the Facebook as well. 2.9 million strong there checking us out. I know many of you guys watch us there. And say you can't stream the shows video-wise. Well, go get the podcast. All right. Podcast is available now, charting in many different countries. Thank you guys for putting us on the top 100 several times this past week on the USA Apple Wrestling chart. Thank you so much. We're right next to WWE's The Bump and a handful of other great shows that you guys may check out. So if you're a wrestling podcast listener, go ahead and make it part of that portfolio if you haven't. Jose, I know you're busy tonight. We got the debrief.
Yeah, that's right, guys. I got the debrief tonight. Following AEW Dynamite, join myself, Enrico El Glorioso. We're going to be breaking down last night's NXT 2.0 and tonight's AEW Dynamite. It's going to be a good show. Go ahead and tune in tonight. And also, we got Weekends of Wrestling tomorrow, 8 p.m. on YouTube and on Facebook. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow us over there. And follow me on socials, Jose G Official. Bam. Right there.
How we doing in the mid-card there, Jeremy?
Yes, sir. We will be, myself and fellow Sportskeeda writer Matt Black, we will be recording Lost in the Midcard after Dynamite tonight, episode 299. As we push to 300, we will do episode 300 next week. We'll try to do maybe some surprises or something special for that. But search for Lost in the Midcard where you get your podcasts and find the thing that says new feed. That'll be the way to go there. Or you can also subscribe on the YouTube. Give us a subscribe there and a thumbs up and a bell icon on that. Also, just search for Lost in the Midcard.
All right. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We hope you're enjoying wrestling however you're watching it, whenever you're watching it, all those good things. Hope you're staying safe, too. All right. Staying safe. You go out, you cover your nose and the mouth, not just this one. Don't do this guy. All right. You got to do this guy. All right. So there you go. Are you just dabbing on me there for a second? The phone is not a mask. Gentlemen, the phone is not a mask.
No, bro, this is the into the arm. That's where you cough.
That's
I'm not trying to do a dab. It ain't 2017 anymore, bro.
Trying to do the Macho Man elbow. yeah.
Dig it. It's right. Get rid of the virus. Just get rid of the virus, baby. All right. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. We hope we'll see you tomorrow. We're here every weekday with Top Story of the Day right around this time. Remember, when watching wrestling, tell them what they got to do, boys.
Enjoy that wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.